Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market stream. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. So we're going to wait a couple minutes as we normally do, and then we'll get started. Today we got good discussion. We're going to try and make it fun. We'll try and make it quick so we can get it to everything everybody wants to get through. Okay? Good morning. Good morning. Is this the end? I don't want to be I don't want to be the guy on the internet that's, claims for this to be the end, because that's just not going to be that guy. I just want to use factual, just look at the charts, make things make sense, right? So really just want to touch on the virus, where we stand, some of the most recent new updates on it, and then I want to take a look at what we've been talking about, which is the gold markets, silver. Then we're also going to take a look at, obviously, some stocks, and then we'll touch on the market. So we're going to kind of hit all of those and then try to give you guys some of the most popular stocks that people are looking at today. All right? So we're going to wait for this chart here to load, but give me a second. You got a SPY spread. Nice. Is this the end? I have no idea. Christian, Mike, yo, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Nasty day in the market. Absolutely a nasty day. I'm in a 35 weekly SPSB, but your boys amp. Very nice. I haven't taken a look at SPCE this morning. No make so serious face. Top of the morning to you. Yes. Yes, Miss Brian. Yes, sir. This was last week. Yeah, we were calling for it. Absolutely. End of the world prediction should be on cardboard. I could agree with that. No, we're not there. It's hard to believe we'd be there yet. So, but for those of you that actually watched one of the most recent kind of videos I posted, and we were kind of doing the class on RSI and Relative Strength Index, we pointed out the divergence on the market and on AMD, and now we're playing into it. So it was just an interesting video. Now, let's take a look at the market first so we can kind of get this out of the way. Or actually, let's talk about the coronavirus. There we go. So we'll talk about the virus. Pretty much it did not stop spreading in China. It's into Iran now. It spread from Iran into Iraq. The cases have jumped significantly in Japan and in South Korea. We have 352 potential cases here in my home state in Michigan now. Italy has started potentially enforcing lockdowns in their cities. Some people did runs on grocery stores in Italy. And there might also be some banks that are shutting down in China and not letting people access their money. That could be another thing that's actually taking place right now. Italy is planning on or potentially shutting down its border with Austria, or they already are doing so. And now Germany is potentially in the talks of starting to close some of their borders. So again, it's not getting any better, and it's only been getting worse. And if it does keep at this pace, again, we're starting to see the initial effects of what could become if it keeps progressing. And now everyone's like, oh, it's not going to be the end. It won't be the end. But just think for a second, okay, how long a system that is mainly built on debt can last if the wheels don't keep turning, okay? If your system is built on debt, you have to keep the wheels turning. If they stop, the music stops. Everything drops. That's the problem there. So you can't, again, you can't keep up at this pace in terms of just output and think that things are going to keep going up. It just can't happen that way. So we're starting to see some early phases of what could become. But nonetheless, where we're at right now in the market is we are on support. So I will say that. The markets are at support. So I'm actually currently long just 20 shares on the SPY right now. But we do have support on the market from this previous dip buy, and just trending support is right here. If you were to take a trend line, and long story short, we have trend line support here, and we have the previous support here. It's a little off, but Nonetheless, we do have support here. So I'm already long 20 shares, looking to see that we're going to bounce maybe today, tomorrow, next couple days. So I don't think we're going to see some massive shortfall in today or some massive down drop happening today, because this is our first attempt at breaking the support level. That usually won't break. But I do believe we could very well actually reverse and continue down. So what I would be looking for on the market today and maybe into the next couple days is probably a bounce around these lows. It's a bounce right here. Pretty much look for a bounce around these lows to go back up and fill its gap, and then see it roll over, and then, if anything, that's where we get a bigger breakdown. The only way that we're going to see the markets fully roll over is, for one, they have to break this price action support, and two, they have to break trending support if you want to see any sort of move below, say, 320. So we're not going below 320 unless we successfully get through that price action support and through trending support. All right. So long story short, I think we're going to end up seeing ourselves bounce here a little bit over the next day, 2 days, for a quick bounce, and then we're going to attempt for another move lower, and that's the one where I'd be far more scared of, right? This one I'm not really, because we've been in a market where it's buy the dip, so you're definitely going to probably have people going in to buy the dip, same as I am, but I'm only going small. So I think we're in the phase where we see a small dip buy, and then we're going to roll over again, and that's where we're going to look for the bigger drop if there's going to be one, okay? Oh, wow. Sorry, guys. That's not good. It's a Monday screen. I'm sick. Oh, yeah, by the way, I was sick Friday. I'm still sick. It's Monday. I love you guys. All right, so now that I look like a complete jabron, let's get it together. All right, let's go to screen capture. Oh, that's the one. That's just Andy. I should just quit. Let me just give up on life. But let's see how long that went on for. Not too long, so it's good. It's all good. It's all good. All right, so now let's make this really quick. You guys see that line there on the chart? We shouldn't go through that right now. Instead of going through that, we're going to actually go up. And then after we go up, then we'll come back down and we'll go towards that again. And when we come back down towards that white line, that is where you should expect that at that point, you'd want to be a little bit more nervous of a bigger drop, okay? That's it. That's really all I said amongst all that stuff I was talking about earlier. I feel better about myself now. All right. Okay, now that we're all caught up on that, there's one stock I'm probably going to be following today. There's many stocks I'll be watching, right? Whenever you get big drops like this in the market, you can either have really crazy days or you can have awkward days. So one of the main stocks we'll be following is Roku. If you guys remember from Friday, we were watching Roku short, ended up trading it short here. We never really got as big of a drop as I thought we may have gotten. But today we've seen this really big drop down to here into this 111 price. So this was one that was actually going to watch short bias. But we've already had such a big move down pre-market, and we've pretty much already filled this gap here at 110. 110 to 111. There's a little gap here, right? And we've basically come down to that gap. So if the markets do any sort of bouncing, I actually think Roku would bounce. So this was just one stock that I was most comfortable with following on Friday. So I'm probably going to be keeping an eye on it. Just today. Just because I was following it so much on Friday, I'm pretty well kept up on it. I think that this could see some good movement, and I'll understand it pretty good to trade it. So even if it's not the most magical trader for the day, I'm pretty well informed on it, and I've been following it. So I'm pretty comfortable with Roku right now and understanding what it's been doing. Okay. Pandemic confirmed. Okay. So if you guys want my personal opinion, yeah, like direct auction, I think Roku's going to be toast today. I think Roku's a big short. I think we can have a big short. We filled the gap, yes. That's my only concern is I want to see how we trade around this gap level, right? Like that's kind of it for me. So Roku could be toast, but we'll see. It has the potential, but I'm not going to jump the gun. All I do is I wait for markets open, I read the chart, understand the formations, etc. All right. If you want my personal opinion, I don't think this is going to be the end of the world, but again, you guys know that pretty much since 2018, I've been a bear in terms of the overall market, and it hasn't changed. And this, to me, is a perfect black swan event that can start it, right? And it's not that, and that's the point, is if this continues at this pace and people stop working or schools shut down, right? If schools shut down, like, think about that. Right? Like, people be like, well, I'm gonna keep going to work. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, like, what if your schools get shut down and then your children can't go to school? What, are you gonna go to work? Who's gonna watch your kids? So now you got to pay a babysitter, right? And then what, you see what I'm saying? You see, even though there's so many ways that this can affect that you can't plan for it fully. And the consequences can be big because it's a black swan event. No one's seen it coming. There's no way to fully prepare for it. If schools shut down, kids go home, parents have to stay home with kids, people don't go to work, production slows, GDP tanks, and then boom, you're into a recession. It can happen like that, okay? So my personal opinion is, yes, I think this is actually the perfect black swan event, and that is going to be the case. We'll see. All right, so now let's go take a look at something like gold, okay? So here we're going to look at GLD. So I'm invested pretty heavily into this ETF myself, one of my retirement accounts. So I have a pretty good chunk of money in here, but this is working well. This has been doing well. I would say right now you don't want to be trying to get on to gold for right now. In the most short term, it doesn't make sense. I think we might see a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower, but I think we're kind of running into a phase where we'll probably see pullbacks and more consolidation, I think. But ultimately, price targets on GLD and just gold overall is about 1,900 to 2,000 an ounce for me. So all in all, I think GLD is going to keep going up. We've seen some really explosive moves in NUGT and in JNUG, pretty much anything gold related. We've been seeing some really good moves. I don't have NUGT, but I have GDX. I'm invested in this one and GLD. I have GDX and GLD. So I have this ETF. We just broke over highs. I mean, it's moving phenomenal now. It's just great. It's fantastic. And just looking at it from a longer term chart, let me put on a long term chart here. Is that long enough? No, 1 second. So looking at this from a really longer term perspective chart, things look really good on the gold side, right? From a bigger picture, we're in a monster cup and handle on GDX. You're in this really big cup and handle. And then within this cup and handle, right, inside that cup and handle, you had another cup and handle here that's now breaking up that could kickstart the bigger cup and handle breakout. So for me, I think we're going to be getting over these tops, and GDX is going to be pressing towards the 40s mark. That makes sense to me, 40 to even maybe 50 over the next year and a half, 2 years to 3 years. I think we'll see GDX into the 40s, maybe even 50s. And the reason I say that too is because when we go and look at, let's just say, gold, these prices, if I can get there, if this would load, that'd be fantastic. So if you look at gold, right, I mean, gold has already moved from, we'll just make this simple. I mean, if you can look at it, I mean, gold's not going up to go down, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, gold isn't going up right now because it wants to go, it's going up right now because it wants to try and get this 1800 to this 1923 top. That's what it's doing. It's going up there to get to that top. That's what it's trying. It's trying to get there and test those levels, right? We're trying to go back there. So I think we'll see gold's near the 2000 over the next year. And I think that'll put, I think we're going to end up putting GDX into the 40s to maybe 50s over the next year and a half, 2 years. So all the golds and silvers are looking pretty solid. Silver is lagging gold right now, but silver still, hold on 1 second. Silver's still performing pretty well. Still lagging gold, but nonetheless, it is still breaking up. All right, so gold's performing better than silver, but ultimately silver is still kind of on that same path as gold, right? We have this kind of awkward one here, but you have this kind of move up, all right, down, right? And then we're got the cup, we're coming up here, and if we can get through, we'll be on kind of the same path as gold. And I think silver is going to hit prices of 30 to 35s potentially. And look, you have this gap. There's a gap in the chart all the way up to 25 on silver. So I think inevitably silver is going to be at 25, fairly soon-ish, maybe a year, 2 years, something. And you'll be into that 25 gap fill price and then maybe higher after that. So but you're right. So you're right, Joel. So it's so look at, right. Let me rephrase this. So you're right. So I thought markets would drop last year, kind of same time. Yeah, I really did. I thought they'd be going down. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. Yeah, we only got like a 22% correction. You're right. So I thought they were going to go down. We got a 22% correction and not a full crash. I apologize. Sorry. You're right. Okay. Very hard to time the markets. But meanwhile, while the markets didn't fully go down, I was buying gold and silver that whole time. And now see what gold and silver is doing. Gold and silver has been on a bull run for almost the last year and a half, 2 years. So while the markets kept going up, the markets were also telling us that they're probably getting ready to come down. And where I shifted my money was into gold and silver because the risk to reward doesn't make sense in equities, right? Like, why would I keep my money so tied up in equities when the reward does not outweigh the current risk? And now the reward is better risk oriented in gold and silver. And you can see those markets are moving up now because that's where the smart money's starting to flow their money. So they're looking at risk to reward. Not that things can't go up. It's all risk to reward at that point, right? So yeah, maybe markets, you know what? Actually, the markets are probably going to go up for another 5 years, I'd say. So we'll see. Who knows? I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. At $3,500 an ounce, who is buying gold? People with money? At $10,000 a Bitcoin, who's buying Bitcoin? Don't know. Good penny stock to play. Actually, today didn't really. Hold on. Now let's kind of go into some of the most common ones. I really wish I knew exactly what the markets were going to do. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some of the most common stocks amongst just the Discord platform. So look at this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the most common stocks amongst 3,806 different servers today. So the most common stock that's being talked about, which I haven't seen yet today, is a stock by the name of COCP. Hey, that's my initials, CP. COCP. It must be a good one. What is this? So up to 98 cents. So again, most talked about stock just skyrockets. Look at, so it's pretty much a penny stock that skyrockets straight up, grabs all of everyone's attention, and now they flock to it. Is this even let's see, is it good? Let's take a look. Drink my coffee. I haven't even drank this yet. I poured this like 20 minutes ago. So it looks like this is the stock's first attempt at breaking through $1 after getting there previously. I would say this probably isn't going to have that great of a day. But let me, I wish I could look at something else. Hold on. Actually, I would say that COCP, I still don't think it's going to have an amazing day, but it is more on kind of the bull side of its trend now. So I would say that just in like the bigger view, COCP is kind of more on just bullish trending in consolidation, but I still don't think it's going to be super amazing. If you're going to look for a long right now, you're really looking for a long at about the 70 cent zone to 72 cent zone for a bounce, at least for right now. So I'm not crazy about it, but that's one common stock a lot of people are looking at today. All right, hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to look at, we have another one. So the SPY, we've already gone over the SPY. That's another commonly talked about one. Tesla is another commonly talked about one. So if you remember from last week, we touched on Tesla starting to show signs of weakness going into this high. Well, at the same time, you wake up today and the market's down this much. Of course, it's not surprising to see Tesla down. So a lot of Tesla going down right now is due to the markets going down. But and again, this is from one of the recent videos I did on RSI. This is one of my favorite things to look for is divergence plays where you see Tesla's up and then, we pull back and then we bounce into a new high. If we were to bounce into a new high and this momentum is far less, we'll normally roll over like that. We'll normally drop and turn over. And then occasionally you'll get a situation where it'll bounce up, right? And when you're looking at a stock and you guys are like, well, how do I know if it's going to be a double top, right? So you've been in the situation where stock goes up, puts in a high, comes down, then it bounces, and you're like, is it going to go through or is it a double top? Is it going to come down, right? Because it's not hard to, like, that's it. People are like, oh, just look for the M pattern for a double top. Just look at it for the M and you'll know it's a double top. Well, there's situations where it looks like a double top and then it keeps going up and it's like, so how do you know which ones you should sell or hold? And a good way to know that is when you think you found the double top. So you think you found, how do I do an M? I don't even know how to do an M with my finger. I'll forget it. But you know what I'm talking about. When you see an M and you're approaching the double top formation, check your RSI, right? Because your RSI tells you how strong the move is. And so what we see here with Tesla is we went into a double top play. Ready? Draw it out for you. So we go into this double top formation, right? And you're like, well, is it going to sell down? Is it going to go up? Well, if you look at the momentum, look at the momentum. The momentum is trending down. So it would be very impressive to see the price action of Tesla go into a new high when it's not even as strong as it was the previous time going into that price. How do you expect the price to go through or go into a new high if it doesn't have as much momentum or as much steam or fuel or gas as it did the first time it tried to go through that price? It's not easy to do. Most of the time, you'll double top and roll over, or if it does actually get into a new high on lower momentum, then a lot of times you get an even harsher extreme move to the downside because you actually did go through the new high on lower. So you get it. So Tesla's talked about one. I would be on the bear side of Tesla for right now. I don't really see a reason to be bullish on Tesla in this time. You're not on support. So I would say probably want to be more on the downside of that for now. If we look at, let me take another look. Hold on. Yeah, from a momentum standpoint, long term, right now, Tesla does say it's still bullish. From a price action standpoint, we are overbought, and support is currently at 800. So we'll see. So today, my really the only thing I'm actually watching today, guys, is I'm only actually watching Roku for right now. And the reason I'm watching Roku only is just because I watched it a lot Friday and past couple days. So I'm pretty up to speed and caught up on that stock. So that's pretty much just one that I'm going to follow. I don't really have a major pick for the day. When you wake up after a weekend and the market's down this much, everything kind of gets shooken around a little bit. So that's where I don't really want to just think that I should just go all crazy, right? I'll watch the market. If intraday setups present themselves, I'll take it. If not, then I'll just kind of relax on the day. But I think today is going to be one for the history books. They're just interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting day. Okay. Thoughts on GLD and Roku. Roku, I'm going to be, I haven't seen in a second, but I'm going to go back and I'll just touch on this lastly. And that's where we're probably going to call it a day. So Roku, again, is into the gap fill now. And so we filled the gap down. Now we got a gap to fill up. The market's down a little bit more. Not a little bit, but a lot more. Yeah, we're getting some... We're getting very interesting trading around this level. Lots and lots. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be watching Roku. We're into a bounce location on Roku, so it's hard. I want to be short, but I got to be more long bias at this price right now. I still think it has potential to turn into a good short. But initially, for me, I gotta watch more long on it. Okay. You find the most common stocks on ticker just by like using you can use our chat room. If you go into our chat room, there's a link in the description of this video which takes you to our chat room, and then once you get in there, look for one of the channels. It's called Stock Bot. It's basically a computerized bot that just reads webhooks in the internet and lets you know what everyone's looking at. And so basically just go to our chat room, sign up, get in there free, and then go to a channel, says Stock Bot, and then just look at what other people have done in that channel, and you'll know how to start to use that channel, right? All you got to do is hit exclamation mark, pop, hit enter in that room, and it will show you all the stuff. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to call it there. I'm going to get back to our private group. I appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. If you guys ever want to work with me and our team, closer basis, during the trading days, links are in the description. Check it out. All right, guys, everybody take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Scanners will be up as soon as I restart the stream as well.